Hello, thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Stuart. I'm a classical record collector and classical record dealer, and I'm going to be doing two things in this video. One is I'm going to be unboxing a record that's arrived from eBay. It's just the one, so I'm going to do that quickly to see what it is. And then I'm going to be reviewing the vinyl records of Finlandia, the Finnish record label, giving some information about that record label, and also doing a comparison between Deutsche Grammophon record of Mozart's oboe quartet and a Finlandia record of the same work. So just do a bit of a comparison, which is not completely meaningful, but you might find it interesting to find out how it compares with, Deutsche Grammophon. Okay, so yeah, let me just show you. So this arrived. I think I know what it is, but let me just open it up. Taking care, of course. It's come wrapped in a good box. Good, looks like probably a cruciform box. Seems to be quite strong, so no chance of it bending in the post, or very little chance. Yep, that's not a bad box. See, I can reuse all these. That saves some money, and I like to recycle. So I like the way he's packed this. It's quite easy to get into, and it's well packed. It's protected very well. Let's open it up and see what's inside then. Right, there we are. I'll show you what it is. Edward Tubin, and it's violin concerto, basically. Violin concerto number 1 with suite on Estonian dancers for violin and orchestra. The violinist is Mark Lubotsky, and it's Järvi conducting. I think that's a really good record. I think that's very good. I'm really pleased with that. I was pleased to see it. I didn't have to pay too much for it. Well, okay, £10 including shipping. I think that's a good deal for £10 including shipping. An unusual record, unusual works, violin, and let's have a look at the surface. It's a DMM, which it's a digital recording, of course, and DMM, made in West Germany, by the way. So that's the label, BIS. It looks good. Well, there's some scuffing there. I can see some sleeve scuffing on the surface, but I've got a feeling that will probably be okay. He sold it as an EX, so I'll give it a try. I hope it's okay. I'll report next time. I haven't got time to try it out right now because I'm going to be reviewing this label Finlandia, but it's a gatefold. Let me just show you the gatefold. There it is. It's got lots of information on it. Oh, well, I say that most of it's in other languages other than English, but it's also got something in English as well. Yep, that's very good. Yeah, really glad about that. So let me just stow that away, that record, back in the sleeve, and then we're going to have a look at these Finlandia records. Okay, yeah, so Finlandia, I bought a batch last week. Yeah, that's what I bought, basically, about half a dozen records. A dealer had a batch of them, and I made an offer for the whole lot, and he said yes. So let me just tell you about Finlandia, when they were founded. I'm getting this information from Discogs, by the way. So, Finlandia Records, Finnish classical label, founded by Musiikki Fazer in 1979. The label leader was Jaco Borg, acquired by Warner Music Group in 1993. So I'll be interested to see when these were pressed, whether these were made before Warner took them over in 1993. Let's just see though who Musiikki Fazer are. Yeah, okay, it says here Musiikki Fazer, the main Finnish music company. Musiikki Fazer was involved with almost every aspect of the music business in Finland since 1910, licensee of Columbia Records. Right, okay. The company itself was during a long period named by Oi Musiikki Fazer Music AB. The new renamed company behind all is Warner Music. Okay, so it looks to me like it's a sub-label of a major label. For example, like with EMI, They had, for example, classics for pleasure. They had musics for pleasure, green sleeves. Although I think that this label Finlandia is a more important label than classics for pleasure in a national context. So let's just have a look then. So you can see the logo. It's there's not really much to it, but it looks quite stylish. I like the blue band across the top, the characteristic blue band. It seems a lot of these are DMMs, Deutsch, direct metal mastering. There's plenty of information on the back and pictures as well. That looks good. And the actual record comes in a, just in a plain white inner sleeve with, sorry, it's difficult to show this because the light is shining on it. I wonder if I can get close up so you can see what the label looks like. Nope, you can't. I can't do it. You can't see how nice the label is. It's quite a nice sort of white minimalistic label. See if you can see it. So it feels reasonably robust. The vinyl looks fairly good. It's difficult. It's not the thickest vinyl, but it's not like a sort of Dutch pressed Philips from the early 80s. It's actually thicker than that. So yeah, I think, well, let's see what it says on the actual label itself. This one is produced 1985. Yeah, so it's before Warner took them over. That's good to see. And or nothing really, I mean, what you would expect to see on a record label, the names of the pieces, and that's all really. And then just the blurb around the outer edge, all rights reserved, etc. It just says made in Finland. Actually, it says here Tiesto on it. I wonder whether that means it's a test pressing. I don't know. So, okay, so that's one of them anyway. So I like the jackets. I think they look attractive, and I like the presentation. They look very Finnish. I like the artwork on the outside of some of these, like this one. Looks like a scene from Finland. This beautiful country of sort of pine and spruce, rivers, and beautiful nature they've got there. Yeah. It says here, this recording was produced with support from the Performing Music Promotion Centre. Okay. I don't know why I read that out, but yeah. I like the design on this jacket. Lovely sort of bluish, this Requiem. And yeah, so I mean, what I'm saying is generally, I think that they've produced these very nicely. They're not all digital, by the way. I've got some analog recordings here as well, which, I'm quite pleased about. In fact, it makes me wonder. I should have checked whether the Mozart that I recorded is actually analog. It doesn't really matter because, let's face it, what I've recorded and you're going to hear is all coming through in MP3 quality digital. But, you might be able to gain some insights into into the sort of quality. Yeah, anyway, there's no point keep showing you that. I think the best thing we can do then is I'm going to play first of all the Deutsche Grammophon record, which was it's a recording from the 1970s, and then I'm going to follow it up. Now it's only about like 30 seconds from the beginning of the piece, so I'm sure that you can probably wait through both pieces. So anyway, let's go and have a listen to them. Okay, there we are. Yeah, I don't know what you thought. Let me just say, first of all, that is the record that's the Deutsche Grammophon record, Berlin Philharmonic Soloists, and that is the Finlandia record. It was actually made in 1979, so yeah, obviously it's an analog recording. And my opinion, I mean, the first time I heard the Finlandia and I heard that Mozart, I thought it was really bright, sort of fresh sound, lots of presence on the instruments. Obviously, I appreciate that the way that I've recorded it is that I've used the headphone socket on my Cambridge audio amplifier and I've fed it into my computer and I used Audacity on both of the recordings. So that's the technology that I've got. It's not perfect, but it's produced sort of MP3 quality. It might give you some idea of how the records sound. You can't truly hear what I can hear because obviously I've got pure analog coming through the speakers. It sounds very, very nice, the Finlandia record. I would give it the edge on the Deutsche Grammophon, particularly when the violin comes in after the introduction. Near the end of the recording, there's a lot more presence. Although that could be due to close miking, I don't know. But I just thought there was a much sort of fresher, livelier sound and a smoother sound as well, from a more sophisticated, more finesse from the Finlandia record compared with the Deutsche Grammophon. Okay, Deutsche Grammophon are not really considered by audiophiles to be anything special. But I think it's a valid comparison, and I think that the Finlandia record sounds better. Nice quiet surface and everything. So I'm pleased with the label. It seems to be a good quality label, and I'll be actually stocking those records on my website fairly shortly. Nothing more to say really. So I'll be doing some of these comparisons. I mean, I did that comparison with the Deutsche Grammophon because that's a recording I happen to have handy. If I'd got a Decca handy or an EMI handy of the oboe quartet, then obviously I would have used probably that instead, or I would have compared several. But yeah, so I would recommend Finlandia if you see them around. I certainly think they're worth paying money for. You know, I would think that, I mean, you won't see them in charity shops because they're quite unusual, but if you see them online going for, I don't know, up to £10, I would say, it would probably be worth buying it if it's a piece of music that you like. Okay, thanks a lot for watching and bye for now.